So we're here in the art show at GenCon 2012. You probably remember him from past GenCon interviews. We're here with Prof. Herbert, friend, Spieler, artist extraordinaire. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you guys doing?
I'm hanging in there. It's been a long few days, and I know you probably feel the same way.
Both of our voices are a little more hoarse than normal.
Yes, we're in the deep, kind of husky voices now here, but
tomorrow it might be non-existent.
Yeah, I think that's why we're kind of done after today, I hope. I want to know how the con's gone here for you. What has been your experience with the con this year as far as the art show goes?
It's been great. I mean, I've had a lot of foot traffic, lots of cards being signed, lots of stuff being sold. Lots of people want to get stuff of that. The dice trays have been going great.
I noticed when we were here on the first day, you had a huge stack of them, and they're practically all gone now.
I had about 16. There's only 4 left.
That's a good number. Now, for those who don't know, you do art for several game companies. Probably AEG being most.
That's my primary right now. I've done AEG, Fantasy Flight. Those are my most current ones for the time.
And what, L5R? And the AEG universe of things, is that probably the thing you've done the most art for?
I've done work for L5R for well over 10 years now, so it's been a while.
What games that might be coming out now or have been out in the recent months would people be able to see your art in?
Of course, more L5R.
Okay.
Next expansions I know have things in there. The next few Talisman expansions also have a couple of my cards in there.
Excellent. In fact, I think we see one behind us on the wall there, right? The
crawling hand.
Crawling hand up there.
Again, crawling hand.
Well, it seems like you're a kind of jack of all trades here with a little carpentry and a little...
Well, I'm a part of a gamer myself, so I like to... When I think of different things, it's like, well, I want to show my artwork out to other people. And since it's a gaming convention, what can I do that also is a serviceable item for gamers?
Right.
So I did the play mats with some of the artwork. I have the dice trays that I made, which I started making just something I wanted. Mm-hmm. And I just did a few of them bring GenCon one time, and they sold out. Last year they just about sold out. This year I'm almost sold out again, so it's been popular enough.
And he does his own dice too.
Yes.
He actually has his own
those are my custom dice from
his custom
Jessex.
dice that usually they go quite well with the dice trays, right?
That's right. I give them away with everybody that buys something. You get one. You get a pair of them.
Now I'm going to take a page from your playbook here because I happen to know that you go around sometimes and ask artists questions.
Yes, my 4 kids from my blog.
we were discussing this, it was several days ago now, about how always everybody asks the same questions and you get so tired of asking the same questions.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see if I can remember some of the questions you ask.
All right.
To see, so what do you listen to when you work? I think that was one of the questions that you tended to ask.
That was one of the ones. I tend to listen to podcasts like the Spiel. A lot of different music stuff too. I'm not too much of a books or books on tape or TV type of guy for when I'm painting or drawing. So.
What type of music?
Basically heavy metal. I know. Go figure.
Okay, let's see. I'm trying to remember. I think I've got a couple other ones here.
Right.
What media would you want to work in that you haven't tried to work in yet?
I've done a little dabbling in oils, and it was fun. I want to try a little bit more of that. I'd also like to try to get a little more proficient working with Painter, the Painter program from Corel. Because I work in Photoshop and I do a lot of digital work, so Painter I know has another different layer of stuff that I'm not used to doing. So
you were showing me those the amazing drawing programs on your iPad with the little stylus too. That was pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
that's a different thing entirely than the computer, but it's fun for doing stuff on the fly.
Sure. Okay, let me see. I can think of one more, and that was, what's the question you hate being asked the most?
How long did it take to do that? Because it always varies, so it's really hard to pinpoint for a straight answer.
And that question probably gets asked all the time, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, this is really nice. How long did it take you to do that? I don't remember. That's usually my response, because a lot of the time I don't.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times...
Just tell them how old you are. That's how long. Yeah. I like it.
But it's what's I saying? The thing on doing some of the artwork is it takes a long time from when I actually do the artwork to when it gets published. Sometimes it's a year later. Like a lot of the new stuff that's new today, I did last August.
Right.
So it's like, ask me the question. It's like, It's like, what did you have for breakfast a year ago?
That was something you're on to the next project. You're already looking at, you're probably knee-deep in
I've already
other.
finished like the next 2 expansions. Now I'm doing something else. So
How many things do you, I'm going to deviate and ask one of my own questions, sorry.
Okay.
How many projects do you generally have going at a time? Are you like laser focused, I have this one thing and I work on it till it's done? Or do you have multiple things in various stages of development?
sometimes it's one. If I don't have a whole lot on the plate, it'll be one thing I can just straightly focus. Or if it's multiple, they kind of get staggered. Like I'll have it all depends on what's due first.
Okay.
That gets the priority. If I have other things that come in while I'm in the midst of painting process, it'll be split up. Like I'll work on sketches in the morning, and then work on my paintings during the afternoon or the evening when I get more of a wake flow, you could say.
Sure. Now, in terms of, we know that you do sort of feudal Japanese genre and fantasy genre and things. Mm-hmm. Are there particular genres or periods in history or kind of subject material? I asked you that about media. Is there a particular era of history or things that you haven't had a chance to paint, either because you haven't been commissioned to do it or just haven't had the time, that you wish, oh boy, I'd really like to do some paintings of, I don't know what, but you see where I'm going, I think, with the question.
Yeah, no, you're thinking is it Roman era or Egyptian or
yeah, it's something like that, or just a subject matter. You've done fantasy, you've done feudal Japan. If there's just an area that your artwork you haven't gotten to explore, abstract art.
Not sure how to get with that one.
That's fair enough.
I mean, a lot of the stuff I like to do a lot of night work. I mean, that's fantasy, but it's also period.
Right.
So it depends on different times. But I just like to play around with armor designs and all.
I can totally see that. Well, are there any questions that you normally ask other people that you wish somebody would ask you, that when you go out asking artists these probing questions that you don't often hear asked? I'm trying to flip the script on you a little. The questions you normally ask other people. You want to answer any of those yourself that I've forgotten?
Let's see. What time are you most productive? That's another one I always ask.
That's a good one.
A lot of the time I usually like that late at night, say between 10 and 2 in the morning.
You are my
it's
kindred spirits here.
It's just that everything's kind of quiet. I don't have to worry about phones or email or stuff like that because a lot of it I know can wait. During the daytime, I know people are in the office and I can get responses, so we try to get stuff out then, and it kind of eats up a lot of the day.
Sure.
So.
Well, I'm glad that you took the time to interview yourself as much as I interviewed you here.
Okay.
I always enjoy sitting down and talking to you. If people want to find out more information, we should send them to your blog. And where can they find out more information about your art online?
The blog has more recent stuff that I put out. I try to at least get something out every month, and that's at randomactsofartwork.tumblr.com.
Okay.
That's a Tumblr with just an R, not an ER.
Right.
And there's my website, which is woefully in need of rebuilding, which is paulprofherbert.com.
Okay. Well, it's always a pleasure talking to you, and
Same here.
I can't wait till I don't want to have to wait another year to sit down and talk to you. So maybe we'll have to go find a game and get some gaming in here before the con is over.
Oh, always sounds good to me.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Thanks.